welcome back to the show. Dugout Thursday, and as promised, Oklahoma State's own version of Jimmy V. We're going to touch base with James Vilade. You know him as the third base coach, but he's a recruiting coordinator. Been out on the road since the Super Regional came to an end. And James, before we get into the X's and O's that people want to hear from on the baseball side, why don't you update us on the Keeper of the Game Foundation that you founded back in 2014? We haven't talked about that in a while.
Oh, that's awesome, Tom. Thank you guys for having me on. But yeah, Keeper of the Game is the foundation we started in 2014 to serve those with special needs and disabilities in and around the game of baseball. And it's at the strongest point it's ever been. We've got an incredible executive director out of Dallas, Texas, does a wonderful job because my schedule's so busy. But we've had a big impact in Stillwater the last several years, which we're proud of. That's our hometown. And we've been able to provide elementary school kids camp scholarships to the Josh Holliday Baseball School, and we've bought season tickets for families that have kids with special needs and disabilities. And we've had some pretty cool programming, especially with the Empower Group alumni Andrew Rosa, who played on our College World Series team. He got together with us this year, and we were able to donate 200 Oklahoma State baseball shirts to the Empower Group, which Pam Carpenter does a great job with. And we also donated a big screen TV, so that was pretty cool. You don't get to give away TVs every day, and that was exciting. And our coaching staff, Josh Holliday, Rob Walton, everybody was in tow and had a nice presentation at the ballpark. And we're just excited to make an impact, and I think that's a priority not only for baseball but our entire athletic department.
I see it firsthand. Before and after every game, you have somebody down there, and your players have bought in so much that they really take to the youngsters and the youngsters vice versa. And I made mention, it's ironic that we have you on because we had Teal on yesterday talking about his climb to the Nationals organization. And he made mention that one of the reasons he came back as a senior, one of the many, was that he wanted to continue to work with you and your foundation.
Yeah, Carson's he's a special kid. He's a hometown kid. And it was one of those things that Carson really gravitated to what we were doing and the mission that we had and the mission that we have. And he's carried the torch through professional baseball, and that's great to see because to be able to bridge the gap between the special needs community and make our team their team, it does as much for our players as it does the special needs kids. But there's been some really special moments at Allie P. Reynolds Stadium for the past several years that have involved so many players and so many coaches. And Tom, I know you're down there before and after games, and you do, like you said, you get to see the impact, and it's incredible. It really is.
You know, that has to do your heart good, and it does anybody's heart good to see the players embrace those youngsters. I mean, they're making their day, but you know what? To some extent, those youngsters are making theirs.
No, 100%. We have several kids that we've been able to impact, and Matthew Sitton is one in particular, and he's gravitated to all of our players. It's like having 35 big brothers. And this was a year where we were able to get Matthew and his family season tickets, banquet tickets, and our guys just really, really looked out for him and took care of him. And I can't imagine Matthew's life without us. Let's put it that way. It's been so special to see him grow within our baseball program, and that's what it's about. I mean, we have to do a great job of sharing the game, and that's got to be a message to all of our players. Is it's your responsibility to share the game.
You can support this foundation if you're just finding out for the first time, right? I mean, there are ways that you can, I guess, monetarily give time, give products, whatever, to make this work. Correct?
Absolutely, and I think for me, the best way to do it is to go on keeperthegame.org. We're a 501c3, so it's an organization that doesn't have any paid employees. We are volunteer-based, volunteer-driven. And we do some incredible programming, and on Twitter it's at Baseball Keepers. And our executive team does an amazing job running the day-to-day. And when I was back in professional baseball with the Rangers, the first off season that I really wanted to do this was 2014, and so I piloted it by myself in the off season when I had some downtime, and it's grown to support thousands of kids and thousands of families.
Let's get into the baseball side. You were saying, I mean, within minutes almost of arriving back here in Stillwater from the Super Regional Lubbock, you hit the ground running, you and all the coaches, but yourself being the recruiting coordinator. You're on the road as we speak. I don't know what you want to say or can say. about those who have already signed. But in general, the draft did not deplete that signing crew.
No, the draft. I think the work that our staff had done leading up to the draft and connecting with our recruits and our kids was amazing, because we had kids turn down several opportunities to go play professional baseball. There were multiple kids drafted out of high school that we had committed, and we got everybody on campus, which is great. And I know, with the building of the new stadium, that has a big impact on our recruiting. Allie P. Reynolds has been such a legendary field, and there's been so many great moments there. But when you start to look around the country and you start to look at other schools, we found ourselves pretty far behind in the stadium race, and the administration identified that, and there's been a great effort to make the new stadium. And O'Brate is going to be terrific. It's going to be, if not the best, one of the best facilities in the country.
Certainly the kids in the state would know, but did you hear some favorable reaction when you made first contact with some of these kids saying, hey, Coach, I also know you got a new stadium coming? They already knew?
Yeah, I think so. One of my strengths in recruiting is the state of Texas. And so it's not just the buzz in Oklahoma, but it's the buzz in Texas and some other places as well. So that's created some excitement. And, I was at the area code games in Waco, Texas 2 days ago, and at the end of the day, they assembled the best 30 kids at that tryout, and the three best kids on the field were Oklahoma State commits, and to me, it's exciting. I mean, you walk out of there after a long day with a lot of excitement, a lot of energy, and also trying to check the boxes for the future. You have to have a plan, and you have to go about your business the right way, and recruiting the state of Texas is important to us. Obviously, Josh's priority is to get the top guys out of the state of Oklahoma as well. We don't win every battle, but with the new stadium, I think it's going to be another level of attention to our program that's going to be a positive.
This is something you guys have to deal with every year, so it's nothing new. You prepare yourselves long in advance for this time of the year. But what about the draft? Is tough enough, and the update, I think, as we were talking, I think all 7 guys that were drafted have signed or are going on, and we won't have them back next year because Simpson was gone as a senior. You tell me a little bit about Linhart and Funk, too. That was an addition I did not know.
Yeah, Joe and Christian were seniors this year, played some incredible baseball for us. Joe was a part of the Omaha team. Joe was a part of the 2 conference championship teams and the other team that played in a regional final and in a conference final. So Joe had a great career for us. He is signed down in Sugar Land to pitch. That's independent baseball. It's actually the highest level that you can go to. So I think Joe he's gonna enter into a AA, AAA environment immediately. I noticed they signed Robbie Ross, who's been a big leaguer for a long time, the same day they signed Joe. Joe's been a terrific guy for us. He deserves a chance to play. The draft didn't work out for him, but there's other avenues to get to affiliate teams, and he's capitalized that. And I know our staff has been adamant about helping our guys, and Christian Funk signed an independent contract with the Gateway Grizzlies, and it's a little bit of a lower level of independent baseball compared to where Joe's going, but it facilitates a chance for them to continue playing, and both guys have been standout players at Oklahoma State. They deserve to keep playing. Most every player we've talked to, and we've talked to a bunch over the years, especially in this holiday era, have been very complimentary toward the coaching staff, saying, look, when I come back and tell, here's what I'm thinking, you guys don't try to make them feel guilty. You don't try to put pressure on them. It's basically you make the right decision for yourself and your family, and good luck to you, and we'll support you. Is that hard to do, though, knowing sometimes you're losing a pretty good hand? Well, sometimes you identify that a kid is really ready, and you always have to do what's in the best interest of the kid. We'd like to have everybody back. I mean, there's no secret there. And there's other times that kids aren't ready. Professional baseball is not for everybody. It's different times in your life where you may connect and feel you're ready, and you may not. So it's a lot of discussion, it's a lot of talking, but we always have to do what's right by the player because it's their time to play, it's their experience, and again, we're there to support them.
You've been a head coach on a couple of levels, and you certainly have been in minor league baseball for a number of years. Any gem of wisdom you can give to them, or do you have an inkling when they first come to you guys that no matter what I say, that's pretty much made up the decision?
I think what's different about today's day and age is the advisor role for kids is become a little more prevalent to where I think the coaches had a little more impact and a little more say on direction. Now, as Josh always talks about, kids get tugged in different directions now.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few more distractions going into decisions. But, again, ultimately, it's the person's decision. But, like I said, our goal is to win a national championship, and you have to have the players to do it. And an example of Trey Cobb and Tyler Buffett coming back to play their senior year, and Colin Simpson coming back to play his senior year. There's great examples of guys coming back to play. And I think one thing for us at Oklahoma State is we've probably had more guys return for their senior year than most. I mean, in the country. When you look at the statistics and the figures, we've had some great ones return.
Graduate transfers, the portal, does that add another chapter to the recruiting saga?
Yeah, that's the NCAA turning into professional sports right there, my man. That's the waiver wire. It's not the transfer portal; it's the waiver wire. So we just got to call it what it is. But yeah, you were very, very politically correct on that one. But I'm going to take it to another level. So hopefully I didn't stun you. But yeah, it's just another entity in recruiting that you have to cover. I think with the early signing, you're now tracking kids that are going to be freshmen and tracking sophomores, juniors, seniors. JC1, first year JC2, transfer portal. I mean, there's just a lot more to cover. And back in the day, it was like, well, we'll watch the juniors and seniors and the second year junior college players, and you had basically 3 levels to comb. And now the levels that you have to comb are unbelievable. So it takes a lot of management to get through that, and that's one of the reasons why I think I was extremely disappointed with the NCAA not adding the third assistant in baseball.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a decision that's going to slow our sport down. I think it's a decision that's going to create less opportunity. And the other thing too is if the NCAA is really, really big on student athlete welfare, and you look at the paid coaching ratio to the student athletes that we coach, that has non-student athlete welfare written all over it. So if the NCAA is really concerned with student athlete welfare, they can address that at a different time and make it work. And I hope they do the same for softball. As a former athletic director in the University of Texas system, I can tell you softball deserves the support as well.
Last couple of things. Those who are not drafted, those who are not making their way up the ladder now in Major League Baseball, you had guys dispersed to summer assignments. Can you mention a couple, and maybe those who you might have told, say, hey, especially pitchers, let's kind of cool it for the summer and come on back refreshed?
Yeah, great job managing our pitching staff. And to address the pitching, we like for all of our guys to play the highest competition that they can. We'll have a lot of guys out in Cape Cod. We'll have some other guys spread out throughout the country. Just trying to put them in the best possible situation with the environment they're going to be in, the coaching that they're going to get, and the attention to detail that they have related to player development. Some summer situations are, let's just roll out the balls and play, and there's other guys that have a passion for developing players. And Josh has come through the country pretty hard to figure out where the best places are to send our guys. He's done a great job at that. We really have been fortunate to have some great relationships. And as far as guys playing, there might be a pitch threshold that a guy gets to, and we shut him down, whether it's innings or total number of pitches. But we're excited about the opportunities. It's a lot of work in October and November to secure places for kids to play. It's another element of our job that has to happen. But again, it's been pretty smooth for us in that manner. It really has.
Okay, it's been a week or so, whatever it is, a couple of weeks. Season came to an end. Had a lot of highs and lows, a lot of good times, and sometimes you wish you could go back and do again. What was the general feel overall of those coming back? And can you flush it and get ready to start next year? Because no matter what you did, you got to start over next year.
No doubt. I think it was disappointing to be out of Texas Tech and literally be 6 outs from Omaha. And our players, the one thing that really stands out to me about this season is, there's going to be a stretch where you're going to have some injuries. You're going to be a little banged up. So for us this year, having some guys out, Bryce Carter getting a little dinged up, and then Carson McCusker getting hurt for a period of time, and Big Joe not being available. I give our kids a lot of credit. We survived a pretty difficult time not having key players, and bench players like Max Hewitt and Noah Seifert really helped us keep the glue together. And then when we got to a point where we were healthy, that's really when we started to make that run.
Well, tell us,
winning three.
Go ahead.
No, yeah, the trip out to Oregon State, winning 3, and then moving through the conference from there. It was good. But I think to answer your question, the guys are ready to come back, and I think the excitement of the new stadium is going to bring even another level of focus.
Give us a quick update on Ryan, your son Ryan, who spent a little bit of time here in Stillwater, and people might have lost touch with what he's doing with the Colorado Rockies.
Yeah, Ryan is he got promoted to high A this year, so he's playing shortstop in Lancaster, California. He had a really good first half. He swung the bat well, and he played good defense. And he starts the second half tonight. But he's moving up the ladder, and it takes seven levels to get to the major leagues, and he's at the halfway point, so a little bit beyond the halfway point. So he just turned 20, and he's a young player trying to learn and develop like the rest of them.
Okay, last shot. If people want to contribute time, money, whatever, to your foundation, and again, that foundation, a very worthy foundation, the Keeper of the Game Foundation, how would they go about it?
They would just visit keeperofthegame.org, and there's a donate button if somebody wants to contribute, or there's an info button on email where somebody can go in and send us an email and get general information. Our executive director, Brian Hopter, will get back with them. And again, our mission is to support existing programming through Special Olympics, Miracle League, Challenger League, Angel League, but also create new programming for kids that can get them excited about being around the baseball field.
James, I appreciate your time, man. Get back on the road. Get us another one, couple of 2, 4, 5, 6 new guys, and bring them on in, and then we'll make another run starting next year. But I appreciate you being with us. See you when you get back in town.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Tom. Take care, buddy.
All right, bud. That's James Vilade, recruiting coordinator, third base coach, and I can't believe he just completed his 4th season here at Oklahoma State. So.